I don't think you should have a Hall of Fame if people like Steve aren't going to be in it. He was the king of saying, why not? Why wouldn't we? As opposed to why. I think everything he did was to try to make this athletic department great.
God, family, academic classes, and then the sport is a great mantra that he's always, he's a great role model for that. He practices what he preaches, and that's something very special.
Whatever behavior you want the learner to learn, you model that behavior. That's the best way to teach it. Steve modeled that behavior. You can talk about it all you want, but people are going to watch your actions and watch what you say and watch what you do. He modeled the right behavior in all those areas.
Steve Koch's 3-decade tenure as the head of the Jesuit Dallas athletics program produced a bevy of historical firsts and was marked by tremendous growth. Hired in 1994 to replace Gary Pasqua from the class of '55, who had previously served as the director of athletics for the previous 29 years, Koch introduced 10 new varsity programs at Jesuit, nearly doubling the number of the school's sport offerings.
If you showed interest and you had some talent and you really were interested in working, Steve was going to find a way to make it work. I think that's a really big credit to him.
It was more of Steve's belief in us and giving us so much freedom and trusting us to do the job well. You just didn't want to let him down.
He would get on you, but he would also love you. He would correct you, but he also would cheer you up. So that's what made me a better coach and a person.
Under Koch's leadership, Jesuit Dallas was accepted into the University Interscholastic League, the governing body for the state's public and charter schools. Koch built on Jesuit's dominant legacy in the Texas Catholic Interscholastic League and guided Jesuit through a period of unmatched excellence across the breadth of the program.
Oh, it's unbelievable, the job that he and the administration did at Jesuit to get Jesuit into the UIL. It was a game changer. There's no question about it.
I think Steve had to have the confidence in our coaches. He didn't have any doubts that we could compete at that level, and also a sense of knowledge about our student athletes that they're able to perform at that high level and they can hold their heads up and they can play against anybody.
Watching him on the field when other guys are competing, tight games, watching pickup games amongst athletes and some of the staff that work here. Steve goes hard in the paint, he boxes out. Steve's a physical man. He does not like to lose, which is why Jesuit Dallas was great for the UIL.
Beyond the 47 state championships and hundreds of student athletes who earned state and national recognition, Koch's tenure as athletic director will be best remembered for the abundance of goodwill he fostered throughout the DFW community. Building relationships with officials, businesses, families, and nonprofit organizations across the Metroplex, Koch remains the consummate Jesuit ambassador. He is the architect behind 30 years of inspiring growth and success and leaves a legacy as one of Jesuit's greatest champions.
We wanted to do as well as we could, and we were always trying to raise the bar, but we also wanted to do it the right way, and we had a leader in Steve whose focus was, let's make sure our kids have a good experience.
Through the ups and downs of seasons, he was always there supporting his coaches. I really respected that about him, because you're not going to have perfect seasons. And just his mentorship throughout those seasons.
The single best thing that I would say that brings him to this evening tonight is the fact that he has the vision to see what could be, and he helped Jesuit Dallas to realize that vision.
He always advocates for the kids. He always advocates for the underprivileged. He always was willing to give of himself.
Maybe we get a tournament named after him, maybe we get a building named after him. But again, what's most important is what he wove into other people's lives.
He was about the kids, his staff, his family. I mean, his legacy is in being a great person.
My dad's legacy is creating a community and culture geared towards turning the students into the best versions of themselves. He dedicated the last 30 years to putting in place the staff, the resources, facilities, and sports to allow students to chase their passion, craft their skills, and become the best versions of themselves.
When I think about why my dad should be part of the Sports Hall of Fame, that's an easy one. He's built Jesuit into arguably the best sports program anywhere in the country. When you look at the teams he's brought through, the coaches he's hired, the athletes that have come through Jesuit, the facilities, really nothing else compares to that. And all of that was him showing up every single day over the last 30 years with a focus on making Jesuit athletics great.
When you look at the totality of all of the 200 plus guys in the Hall of Fame, and you look at the people who were groundbreakers and they started programs and they were athletes and they were leaders, Steve's amongst that group. And you cannot look at Jesuit Dallas athletics and not think Steve Koch in his 30 years absolutely entitles him to a blue coat. He has not only helped most of the guys in the room get their blue coat, Steve absolutely has earned his right to be part of Jesuit Dallas history.
It ain't gonna be another Coach Koch. I think that's the legacy. There's never be another Coach Koch.
Steve Koch, welcome to the Jesuit Dallas Sports Hall of Fame.